Thank you, Mama. How long have you worked with Chief? Well,
She's been with our family for many years. She is our housemaid.
Chief Chinedu Okafor remains the leading candidate ahead of next month's election.
Gate in sight. Prepare arrival. Together, we will build a stronger Enugu.
Chief, Enugu is already celebrating your victory.
We haven't won yet, but we will.
Mama Ngozi, visitors are arriving. Please finish this site quickly.
Yes, my daughter. I'm almost done. You always smiled like this. This will be the biggest campaign in Enugu. Chief Chinedu is unstoppable.
Chief, this mansion gets more beautiful every time I visit.
You're always welcome here.
Thank you, Mama. How long have you worked with Chief? Well,
Oh, Mama. She's been with our family for many years. Our housemaid.
In every village, there is at least one mother who carries her child's burden without complaint. Some sacrifice food, some sacrifice dreams, and they few sacrifice their own names. Mama Ngozi belonged to the last group. She had learned long ago that love does not always receive gratitude. Sometimes it receives silence.
God give him wisdom.
Mama, are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine, my daughter. These old eyes cry for no reason these days. Please, let me help. No, madam. Just for a minute. There. Beautiful.
Thank you, Mama.
Chief Chinedu, one quick statement.
Thank you all.
Outside the gates of Chief Chinedu Okafor's mansion, admiration had become a daily ritual. Long before he stepped into the sunlight, journalists were already adjusting their cameras. Supporters were rehearsing campaign songs, and party leaders exchanged confident smiles. Cameras chased his smile. Politicians competed for his attention. Every handshake strengthened the image he had spent years building. To the people of Enugu, Chinedu represented hope. A disciplined man who spoke eloquently about sacrifice, service, and family values. But every magnificent house rooms, visitors never enter. Beyond the applause, behind polished marble floors, and glittering chandeliers. Another life continued unnoticed. An elderly woman quietly wiped marble floors, served food with trembling hands, moved quietly from room to room, making sure every guest felt welcome, while ensuring she herself remained unseen. No one thanked her by name. No one wondered why sorrow seemed to live behind her gentle smile. They saw only a servant. Sometimes the greatest deception isn't the lie people tell. It's the truth no one thinks to question. In houses built on sacrifice, the strongest foundation are often the ones no visitor ever sees. There is an old Igbo saying, "The tree standing proudly on the hill forgets the seed that first broke the ground." Indeed, Chinedu had become that tree. The higher he climbed, the easier it became to forget the hands that once carried him through storms no child should have known. But forgotten roots do not disappear. They wait patiently beneath the surface until the day they can no longer remain hidden.
Chief Chinedu's campaign continues to gain momentum across Enugu State. Good take.
Most people only saw what they expected to see, but a journalist survives by noticing what others ignore.
Chief, thank you for your time. My pleasure. Oh, one more thing. Next week, we're filming a special feature. A feature. The families behind Nigeria's future leaders. That sounds interesting. Call the television station. I don't want that interview. Offer sponsorship. Whatever it costs.
For years, Chief Chinedu Okafor had mastered the art of staying one step ahead. In politics, perception could be more valuable than truth. He understood that better than most. Every speech was carefully rehearsed. Every public appearance was planned. Every photograph told the story he wanted the world to believe. But some stories refused to follow a script. The television feature sounded harmless enough. A celebration of the families behind Nigeria's rising leaders. To everyone else, it was a great opportunity to inspire the public. To Chinedu, it was something entirely different. It was a door leading back to a past he had buried beneath expensive suits, polished speeches, and years of calculated ambition. Across town, producers were already designing graphics, scheduling interviews, and promoting the special across television and social media. No one involved knew they were standing at the edge of a secret that has slept quietly for decades. They believed they were preparing another feel-good story. Fate had other plans. There is another Igbo saying, "A man may outrun the rain, but he cannot outrun the clouds." Chinedu had escaped many things in his life. Poverty, shame, the painful memories of childhood. But the clouds were gathering again. And this time, they were drifting toward the very home where his greatest secret still lived. Wearing a faded blue wrapper and quietly serving tea to strangers.
Sir, Mama Ngozi would like to see you. Send her in.
Some conversations begin with words, others begin with silence. This was the second kind. Behind closed doors, there were no reporters, no campaign songs, no photographers chasing perfect smiles. There was only a son who had spent years building a life he could proudly display, and a mother who had spent those same years protecting him from a truth she carried alone. She had stood outside that door many times before, sometimes to remind him to eat, sometimes to pray for him before an important meeting, sometimes simply to see the little boy she still believed lived somewhere behind the expensive clothes and polished speeches. But today felt different. Today, even silence seemed heavier.
Mom, I brought your tea. You've hardly eaten today.
I'm fine.
You've been saying that since you were 12.
Time changes almost everything. It changes houses, fortunes, titles, even the way a man speaks. But it rarely changes a mother's heart. To Mama Ngozi, he was never chief. He was still the little boy who cried whenever thunder shook the village roof. The child who refused to sleep unless she sang the same song every night. The boy who once promised that when he became successful, she would never work another day in her life. Promises are easy to make in childhood. But life has a way of testing whether we remember them.
What are you hiding, Mama? Should I check what is inside this bag? Should I destroy?
Fear has many disguises. Sometimes it looks like anger. Sometimes it sounds like authority. And sometimes it hides behind silence. Chinedu had spent years convincing the world that he feared nothing. Political opponents came and went. Newspapers wrote stories. Rumors faded. Yet, none of those things unsettled him the way one ordinary brown envelope did. He had never asked his mother what remained inside it. Perhaps because he already knew enough to be afraid. Some questions are dangerous, not because of the answers they reveal, but because of the lives they can destroy. Across the city, preparations continued without interruption. Producers scheduled interviews. Designers approved promotional graphics. Social media carried the announcement further than anyone expected. What began as an ordinary television feature was quietly becoming something much larger. Fate has an unusual sense of timing. It rarely announces its arrival. Instead, it places ordinary people on paths they never intended to cross. Journalists are trained to ask questions. Most of the time, those questions lead to ordinary answers. But every once in a while, a single question uncovers a story powerful enough to change lives. Obinna did not yet know it, but the first page of his notebook would become the first crack in a wall built over many years.
Oga, leave that politician alone. Who really raised him?
Every investigation begins with something small. A date that doesn't match, a missing photograph, a name mentioned only once and never again. Obinna had covered elections, corruption cases, and even court trials. Experience had taught him that the biggest stories rarely announced themselves. They hide quietly inside forgotten archives, dusty records, and memories that nobody thought were worth preserving. The question he carried home that evening sounded simple enough. Who really raised Chief Chinedu Okafor? While one man searched for answers in dusty files, another carried them in silence. There are burdens that grow lighter when shared, but there are others that become dangerous the moment another person touches them. Mama Ngozi had protected that envelope for years, not because it was valuable, but because of the lives it could change if opened at the wrong time. Neither Chinedu nor Obinna realized it that night, but they were already walking towards the same destination, but from opposite directions. One was searching for the truth. The other was trying desperately to keep it buried. And somewhere between them sat an old woman whose greatest fear was not losing a secret. It was losing her only son. Long before expensive suits and political rallies, there was a little boy who believed his mother could do anything. To him, she was stronger than hunger, wiser than every teacher, and braver than every storm that swept through the village. Children make promises with innocent hearts because they cannot yet imagine how complicated adulthood can become. They speak with certainty, believing tomorrow will always look like today. And mothers remember every promise, even the ones their children forget. Every notebook on that little hand had a price. Every school uniform had a story. Some days, Mama Ngozi ate only once so her son could eat twice. When the roof leaked, she placed buckets beneath the rain and still smiled so he would never be afraid. She carried burdens that no child should ever notice, because that is what mothers often do. They protect first and suffer quietly later. Across town, another story was quietly taking shape. Obinna had not found proof of scandal. He had found something stranger. A trail of ordinary records that all pointed to one woman. School admissions, hospital forms, scholarship forms. The same name appeared again and again. Ngozi Okafor. Yet somehow, she was missing from the story the public knew.
Who is Ngozi Okafor? If you're asking about that woman, you're asking about a story this town never forgot.
You used to sing louder than all of them. Even when you didn't know the words. Those were good days, Nwam.
There are memories that never truly leave us. Sometimes they sleep quietly for years, waiting for a familiar sound to awaken them. For Mama Ngozi, it was always the voices of school children. Every song carried her back to mornings when life was difficult, yet strangely full of hope. In those days, wealth was measured differently. A complete school uniform was a victory. A new exercise book was a celebration. A pair of sandals that survived another school term felt like a miracle. But to one little boy, none of those struggles mattered. As long as he could see his mother waiting outside the school fence, he believed everything would be alright.
Mama, teacher said my composition was the best in the whole class. She even read it out loud.
Everybody clapped for me.
Is that so?
One day I'll become a very big man. I'll build you the biggest house in Enugu.
Then promise me one thing.
Anything.
No matter how high you rise, never be ashamed of where you came
I
from.
promise, Mama.
Every afternoon followed the same reading. He talked, she listened. He dreamed, she believed. Chinedu spoke of becoming a doctor one day, then a lawyer, then a governor. Every week his dreams changed. Only one thing remained constant. Before they reached home, he would always look up at his mother and say, "One day, I will build you the biggest house in Enugu." She never asked how. She never asked when. Because a mother's faith has never needed evidence. Some sacrifices make noise. Others pass unnoticed. Chinedu never realized that many nights his mother claimed she wasn't hungry because there wasn't enough food for both of them. He celebrated every full plate she placed before him, even when her own remained empty. Children remember the meals they ate, but mothers remember the meals they skipped.
Mama, teacher said if I pay tomorrow, I'll represent our school in the state essay competition.
Is that so? Then tomorrow you'll go and make this village proud.
You'll come and watch me, Abby.
Who else will clap louder than your mother?
Long before the first rooster announced the morning, Mama Ngozi was already awake. While most of the village still slept, she prepared for another day that would demand more than she had to give. Poverty has a cruel way of measuring time. Every sunrise brings another bill, another school fees, another impossible choice. Yet she never complained. Not because life was easy, but because she believed that every difficult morning brought her son one step closer to a future she herself might never live to enjoy. The market did not care who needed school fees. Buyers bargained, prices fell, hours passed, every coin mattered, every customer meant another chance to keep a promise she had made to herself years earlier. My son would finish school. no matter what it cost.
Mama Ngozi, these were your husband's wedding gift.
Jewelry cannot sit in a box while a child's future waits.
Are you sure?
One day, he'll buy me another pair.
May God reward you.
That afternoon, the school received its fees. The teacher smiled. The register was updated. The competition went ahead as planned. No one knew that the receipt in the headmaster's drawer had been purchased with a widow's last piece of jewelry. Some children carry school bags. Others carry their mother's sacrifices without even knowing it.
Start our learning in a joyful way. Here we found.
Mama Ngozi, Madam Adazi is looking for you.
25 years later, those same pieces of paper were quietly leading another man toward the truth. Every old photograph remembers something, even after people try to forget.
Oga Obina, this place is beautiful. Feels like time stopped here. No, time moved. Some people just never left. You people are looking for somebody?
Yes, Baba. We're looking for Mama Ngozi Okafor.
Ah, every road here knows that woman.
Villagers have long memories, long after tied to fate and fortune's change. They remember the people who shared their last meal, helped build a neighbor's roof, or stayed awake through the night beside a sick child. The moment Mama Ngozi's name was mentioned, faces softened, conversations paused, smiles appeared without effort. It was the kind of respect that could never be bought with money or power. Time had carried away the vegetables, the customers, and the daily bargaining, but the little store remained empty, quiet, waiting, as though the village itself refused to erase the memory of the woman who once stood there from sunrise until sunset, smiling through hardships no one fully understood. Every corner of the village carried another memory. The school remembered a brilliant little boy. The markets remembered a hard-working widow. The church remembered a faithful worshipper. Piece by piece, Obina was collecting fragments of a story that refused to disappear. Success had never been an accident. Even as a child, Chinedu had shown remarkable intelligence. His village celebrated every achievement as though it belonged to them all. They believed one of their own would someday return to lift the community that had helped raise him. But hope has a painful way of waiting. While the village spoke proudly of the boy they once knew, the man he had become was asking an entire state to trust him with its future. Some stories are written in headlines. Others are hidden in the margins.
With just 18 days to the gubernatorial election, Chief Chinedu Okafor continues to lead the latest opinion polls.
You've barely slept these past few nights. You've barely touched your food all week. Is it the campaign or something else?
The campaign, it's always the campaign. Campaign headquarters sent 37 messages before sunrise. Something always needs fixing.
Noam, Chief, your tea.
Thank you.
While one house struggled to keep a secret, the rest of Enugu was waking to another day of promises. Posters covered walls before sunrise. Loudspeakers rehearsed speeches that had not yet been delivered. Volunteers hurried through the streets, convinced that they were helping to shape history. To the public, Chinedu Okafor was the face of discipline vision and hope. Every handshake was photographed. Every smile was measured. Every appearance mattered. But the greatest threat to his campaign was not standing on an opposition stage. It was quietly serving tea inside his own home.
Looks like an old school event. Look at her. The woman? She's in every record, school receipts, admission register. Now this photograph, maybe she was just his guardian?
Some people speak because they know the truth. Others remain silent because they remember what happened when the truth was spoken before. The old newspaper vendor had seen enough elections to understand one thing. Every campaign has a secret, but not every secret survives election season. Every town keeps its history somewhere. Sometimes it's hidden in the place no one thinks to look.
Young man, paper remembers what people forget. What is it? I never throw away stories that matter. Read this one. What did you find? This changes everything.
Before she was known as a housemaid, before politics built walls around old relationships, Mama Ngozi had quietly become a hero in her own community. She wasn't honored for wealth. She wasn't honored for influence. She was honored because, despite having almost nothing herself, she spent years helping children stay in school. Some donated books. Others shared uniforms. Mama Ngozi shared hope. Recognition never changed her. The following morning, she returned to the market before sunrise, arranged vegetables on her stall, and continued living as though nothing had happened. Greatness rarely announces itself. It simply keeps serving.
Why has no one ever talked about this woman? Because you're asking the wrong question. What should I be asking? Don't ask who Mama Ngozi is. Ask who stopped people from talking about her.
Sometimes, the most important part of a story isn't the headline. It's the sentence hidden in the corner. A postponed interview. A forgotten photograph. A name erased by time. Obinna wasn't chasing a scandal anymore. He was chasing silence.
Chief, there's a problem. What happened? A journalist has started asking questions about your family.
Mama Ngozi, what happened to your arm? Ah, old stories. It looks painful. Some wounds stop hurting, even when they never disappear.
Some scars tell strangers where we have been. Others remind us who we choose to protect. On a stormy evening, when fire spread faster than fear, a mother did not stop to think about pain. She reached for the only thing that mattered: her son. Children often remember being rescued, but they rarely remember the price someone else paid for that rescue. Memories rarely ask permission before returning. They arrive quietly, hidden inside an old scar or a familiar song, or the simple act of washing yesterday's teacups.
Mama Ngozi, you always find something to repair. Things that are loved are worth mending, especially after all these years.
There are people who collect wealth. Mama Ngozi collected memories. A tiny school shirt, a faded photograph, a handwritten letter. They were ordinary things to everyone else. But to her, they were pieces of a life she refused to forget.
Chief, the journalist has been seen in your village. Who sent him? Nobody knows. Find out before he finds what he's looking for.
Elections have a way of exposing modern policies. As the countdown shortened, every unanswered question became a threat. Chinedu had spent years preparing for this election, but he had never prepared for someone searching his past. Children make promises with complete honesty. They have no idea how difficult adulthood can become. Years before politics, before wealth, before pride, a little boy had written down a dream, not for himself, but for the woman who believed in him before anyone else did. Some questions are easy to answer, others carry the weight of an entire lifetime. Mama Ngozi had waited years to hear someone ask that name again. But she had also prayed she would never have to answer. In 3 days, one family would sit before television cameras. By then, every silence would demand an answer. And every promise written by a little boy would finally be tested by the man he had become. Curiosity rarely arrives like thunder. It arrives quietly, one unanswered question at a time. Adeze was beginning to realize that Mama Ngozi never lied. She simply never told the whole story. Evidence was no longer the problem. Obinna had documents, photographs, receipts, memories. But good journalism demands more than suspicion. It demands someone willing to stand behind the truth. Sometimes the longest journey ends with a single direction. Not every witness appears in a courtroom. Some wait quietly inside old churches, guarding stories that time could never erase. The next answer had been waiting behind those church doors for more than 20 years.
Good morning, Father. Peace be with you. I'm looking for information about Mama Ngozi Okafor.
There are places where memories refuse to die. Churches are among them. Long after names disappear from newspaper, they remain written inside quiet prayers.
Father, everyone says Mama Ngozi changed lives. No, she saved one. The others were blessed because she existed. Can you tell me about her? I can.
The village remembered many things, but Father Michael remembered one day more clearly than all the others. The day a little boy believed his future has finally arrived. Opportunities rarely wait for those who are poor. Deadlines arrive whether money is available or not. For Mama Ngozi, this wasn't just another school payment. It was the doorway to everything her son dreamed of becoming.
Mama Ngozi, the registration closes this afternoon.
Please, don't remove his name.
You're still short.
The ring cannot read. My son can.
No.
Love is often measured by what we give. A mother's love is measured by what she quietly lets go. That night, a little boy decided that gratitude should not remain in his heart. He picked up a pen and wrote a promise he believed he would keep forever.
That letter never left her handbag.
Some calls change your schedule, others change your life. The truth had finally begun to move, and whenever truth begins to move, someone always notices.
Chief, we've identified the journalist. Name, Obinanwafo. What has he found? We don't know. Then don't touch him. Sir? The moment journalists feel threatened, they stop investigating stories and start investigating people.
Power had taught Chinedu how to solve political problems. But this wasn't politics. This was the past, knocking heavily and loudly on his door. Some truths survive in memories, others survive in a child's handwriting. And sometimes, the people searching for answers are already living inside them.
Mama Ngozi, can we talk?
Of course, my daughter.
There are conversations that begin with questions, and there are conversations that begin with silence. Adeze knew that whatever happened next would change the way she saw her family forever.
I've tried to ignore this. I've tried to convince myself it wasn't my business. But every answer leads back to you. Who is Chinedu to you?
Why are you asking me when the person you should ask sleeps in the same room as you?
It has a strange nature. It longs to be spoken. Yet, some people carry it in silence. Because speaking too soon can destroy the very person they are trying to protect.
If this letter belongs to him, why has he never spoken about you?
Because shame is a prison and pride is the lock.
Then tell me the truth.
No. Some truths should come from the person who buried them.
Some storms announce themselves with thunder. Others arrive quietly through the opening of a gate. Before the night was over, 3 lives would begin moving toward a truth that could no longer remain hidden.
Everyone suddenly became quiet. Did something happen today?
Yes, we'll talk after dinner.
Marriage is built on many things: love, trust, truth. And tonight, one of them was missing.
I met Mama Ngozi in the garden. I see. I found a letter.
Did you read it?
Enough. When were you going to tell me? I married you. How could something this important never come from you?
Because every year it became harder to say.
The governor's office confirmed. Live interview.
When?
48 hours. And they specifically requested you as the interviewer. I don't think they know what I'm going to ask.
The interview had been scheduled. The questions had not. In 48 hours, one family would walk into a television studio. Only one of them knew the truth. But soon, all of Nigeria would. One man had spent weeks searching for the truth. The other had spent years hiding it. Now, they stood only a few meters apart.
Mr. Obina, Chief, I've heard good things about your work. I hope you'll still say that after tomorrow. Is there anything you'd like to ask before we go live? Only one thing. Will tomorrow's interview be honest?
It always is.
Mama,
Yes, my son.
tomorrow, no matter what happens,
Don't be afraid. The truth has never been our enemy.
if I tell them,
Don't tell them for me. Tell them because you're finally free.
Morning would bring cameras, questions, headlines. But tonight, a mother had already given her son the only answer that mattered. The rest was up to him.
Stand by. 5, 4, 3. Good morning, Nigeria. Today, we welcome one of the leading candidates in the Enugu gubernatorial election. Thank you, Obina. Development is key and will invest in infrastructure and job.
For 20 minutes, everything went exactly as planned. And then, one question, just one question, changed everything.
Chief, you've spoken beautifully about integrity. I'd like to ask one final question. Throughout this interview, we've met your wife, we've seen your beautiful home, but Nigerians would also like to meet the woman who raised you.
For years, I introduced this woman as my housemaid. I lied. She is my mother.
Some victories are won at the ballot box. Others are won in the human heart. In that moment, a politician lost his image, but a son found his mother again.
Look at me. I've already forgiven you.
How?
Because before you became chief, you were my little boy.
The interview had begun with politics, but it ended with something far greater: the truth. By sunrise, the election was no longer the biggest story. Every home had become a courtroom. Some called him a hypocrite, others called him brave. But almost everyone agreed on one thing: no mother deserved to be hidden. Respect is not built with speeches. It is revealed in ordinary moments. A chair offered, a cup of tea poured, a place finally prepared at the family table. The confession ended. The debate began. Across Enugu, people stopped asking, "Did he lie?" and started asking, "Can a man who admits his greatest mistake deserve another chance?"
Chief, the numbers are looking good.
Go. They are calling you.
I've kept you waiting for years. They can wait 5 more minutes.
Having satisfied the requirements of the Electoral Act, I hereby declare Chief Chinedu Okafor duly elected Governor of Enugu State.
We won.
No, my son, today you found something greater than victory. You found your way back.
History would remember the election, but one family would remember something else. The day a title became less important than a single word: Mama.
Please welcome His Excellency, Governor Chinedu Okafor, accompanied by his mother, Mrs. Ngozi Okafor.
Some introductions come too late, but late is still better than never.
Do you remember a little boy who promised to build you the biggest house in Enugu? I couldn't give you the biggest, but I prayed I could give you the happiest.
Some promises are fulfilled quickly. Others must travel through failure, shame, and forgiveness before they finally find their way home.
Give me that.
No, you've swept enough roads for me. Mama, you've walked enough.
Do you know what I've prayed for every night?
What, Mama?
Not that you would become governor, not that you would become rich, only that you would never lose your heart. Welcome home, my son.
Elections create leaders. Success creates influence. But only love create a home. In the end, the greatest victory was never won before the voters. It was won between a mother and the son who finally found his way back.
Dear Mama, one day I will become a great man. I will build you a beautiful house. You will never walk again. Your loving son, Chinedu.